sorry, was it you or me? I have like a
I
terrible
think that
memory.
one is me.
Okay.
You need to know her story and what led her to her strange isolation.
Who are you, spirit, to remain here all alone?
She tilts her head, confused. Of all the many things you could ask, this is what you want to know most? To know me? She falls back, made nervous by the weight of your attention. She grins a ghastly grin, full of too many ghostly teeth. I am a guardian, she whispers in that sing-song voice. I guard, I guide, I care for the little children, I wait until the protectors return, and I care for them too. Someone must. I could care for you, she offers, fluttering her eyelashes over empty eyes, reaching a hand across the too small space between you.
Get back.
You command, taking half a step back. Oh, please, won't you stay here? She begs, hungry grin tearing over ever wider. Our protectors will return so soon, and they will long to meet you once they've been here. You will long to meet them too. Perhaps they can guide you home. They will guide you to the house. You belong to the house. A wail cuts through the air, the sound of a child. Not the one at her breast, though, which stirs but nestles back against her. Oh, she says, favoring you with a pleased smile. The children are awake. They will be ever so happy to meet you. They see strangers so rarely. You will be my gift to them, and you can play together until the others return. A small hand reaches up to cling to the top of one of the nearby gravestones.
Oh, shit.
So you still thinking she's gonna be passing over anytime soon?
Look, it was a good bet, I think, to see if she would have been like. At first, it sounded at first like she was like touched, like, "Wait, you want to know about me? Oh, you're so sweet, and I'm gonna give you more information." But it's like,
Yeah, and then she's like, "Now I'm gonna eat you."
Meanwhile, Caps over here is like, "I knew she was trouble when she walked right in." All right, well. La-di-da, you guys guessed better than me. That's enough for me. I'll put a thing here. That's enough for me, I banish them to their final rest. I'm not staying here. I tear myself free of the aether. The salt will keep me safe so long as I don't move. Well, you know what I'm gonna do.
So I feel like you would want to banish. However, that's a lot to banish because we have her and her babe, and then we also have all these little tiny fingers coming and protectors.
Nonsense.
I think that might piss everyone off. Yeah, I think it's going to piss everyone off.
We got a salt circle. I just got to go
with
my psychic super ghost energy. We'll be fine. Totally
okay,
fine.
We're still weak from last night, though. I mean...
Nonsense.
I think we should go with number 2. Oh no, number 1 is winning.
Yes. He's like, back, foul demon, and then just go like, wow. Surely.
I don't know if that's gonna work that way.
Surely, it's like it'll be great. What are they gonna do? Come on. A cherubic face peers up over the stone. You wonder how old this child is. Barely old enough to walk, but by the looks of it. But by the age of the graves, it could have seen centuries. Another child crawls into view, dragging its baptismal gown along the ground. The gown still drips water behind it, and the spirit is strangely bloated. That's quite enough for you. You speak the words of banishment, disrupting the energy that holds the nearest of the small spirits. Your efforts succeed, but not quite as they should. The spirit dissipates with a surprised cry, but it simply scatters across the aether, rather than passing safely on to its rest. Its cry echoed by a howl of rage. The woman flies at you, expression twisted in fury. That's okay.
It's the
that's the guy.
goal. Yeah.
Cease. The word reverberates in that familiar sepulchral voice. It has the power of a command, and she is thrown back. You're pulled out of the aether just as violently. You twist around, but you see no one. See, turned out all just fine. I had it totally in control. She wouldn't even gotten past.
You were about to be ghost
she wouldn't
bait.
have gotten past my salt at all. I was totally fine. Totally fine. Maybe. All right. I think it's you.
Dev wanders over, a book open in one hand. He glances up occasionally to make sure he isn't about to trip over a gravestone.
I need to go back to the inn,
he says absently.
I need to check some of these dates. I'll meet you back there for dinner.
He doesn't wait for an answer. He simply departs on his own, still tapping the entities in his notebook. You can continue your investigation of the churchyard, but you're starting to feel uncomfortable. You've experienced stranger things in your time studying the occult, but everything here is peculiar, and all that peculiarity is off-putting.
That's a good question, Kat. Why does Dev keep missing all the fun? Little sussy person.
Because he doesn't have that connection like we do.
The old church must hold many secrets. The crypt is strangely out of place. I'd like to leave this place before anything else occurs. I suppose I'll leave it up to the voting. I for some reason don't feel like the church is actually gonna be particularly helpful. And even if it did have particularly helpful stuff, that doesn't mean that the caregiver there is going to be willing to let us go wandering into the church proper. But I do think that the newer crypt should be more safe than not, maybe? I don't know. And I survived. I was perfectly safe, so I don't feel like I have to go.
I want to go to the crypt.
Alright, we're all going to the crypt. That crypt is strangely out of place. If you want.
Judging by the stonework, the mausoleum can't be more than 30 years old. It is simply and solidly built, with only a pair of columns to decorate it. Above the arched doorway, an inscription. Minotaur innocentibus qui parcit nocentibus. It isn't the only marking on the surface of the mausoleum. Row after row of crucifixes pattern every wall. The first you've seen here, barring the one that dangled from Miss Fairchild's rosary. A forbidding door, solid and studded with iron, stands between you and the inhabitants of the crypt.
I may be able to sense the spiritual energy from within me and my spiritual energy shit. It's just like, yeah, it was a perfectly great idea before, just perfectly good idea right now. Okay, the votes up. No sense dragging my feet. I head inside. Patterns on the wall demand closer investigation.
So it was noted that there was iron. And there was iron in your umbrella because it, is bad for spirits and stuff. So I feel like there's not going to be spiritual energy inside if there's iron on the outside.
Yeah, I am generally hesitant to tap back into.
Right. Yeah. Or if there is energy on the inside, it's not going to be bad energy because it's got the iron. Right?
Well, here's the problem. Is that door could be keeping something in as much as keeping stuff out, which means that if you open it, the iron could be non-useful.
True.
So I do feel like one or the other. I would probably rather risk releasing something than opening myself up to possession and stuff, especially with Dev gone right now. So I think I'd still be willing to head inside, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Imposing as it is, the door swings open easily on slicked hinges. You take one step forward and feel a wave of nauseating wrongness wash over you. You stagger under the assault. If you close your eyes, the resistance eases. If your senses were more ordinary or less attuned, perhaps you would only brush against the wrongness. You would pass by and shudder, never noticing your unease or wondering whence it came. To be fair, you do not know its source, but reason dictates that the intent behind the effect. It dictates the intent behind the effect to keep people away from the crypt, keep them from looking too closely. Confirming that belief, the worst of it passes once you're inside, though a lingering discomfort remains and you feel slightly worse by the moment. The air is stale here, though it carries a scent less rancid than that of the rest of the yard. Unfortunately, you aren't alone. Skulls stare down at you from a dozen and more nooks that line the walls. Tight spaces frighten me enough even without the skulls. Sorry. I keep my search brief. I need names, dates, and any other information I can use. Crypts always have hidden secrets, and I'm skilled at finding them. Am I, though? Okay, this one I'm actually going to look at my stats. We might as well look at the stats anyway for those who didn't see before. All right. I'm really compassionate. I'm really spiritual. I'm brash. Shocker. I'm courteous, and I'm trusting. Oh, I'm actually way more trusting than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only 13 in my investigation skill, although I don't know how you would get any higher yet.
The investigation is new since the last time. We only had professional.
Yes.
And our will is 90%.
It'd be safe to dare the spirit to... See, look! See, I had a sense. You know? It says, it would be safe to dare the spirit world to do its worst, if perhaps not entirely wise. The wisdom thing is not...
It doesn't say you're wise!
It says perhaps. So... okay, so yeah, I got 70% in Arcanum and 90% in Will. I am totally okay with this stuff.
I think we should explore the secrets. That's what I think for this one.
Yes, I agree. Alongside your talents in the field, you have found that paying close attention to the smallest things, expressions, environmental cues, and the like pays dividends. See, this is actually saying that we should probably do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, Oriana, servant, Joseph. Okay. Okay, let's do return to game. I think we should just give it everything we've got.
Yep, let's go. Head first.
Even though it's making ourselves sick. Yeah, not every choice has to be cool. Yeah, I think we'd be alright for now. According to the plaques, these are the Barons and Baronesses Reeves, stretching back to Lawrence Lord Raves, dead in 1462. But it seems quite a bit of work to relocate these bodies to such a secure site, if they are all that is there. Nerves or no, you can't let that mystery stand. You set yourself to exploring every nook, cranny, and crack. You have to take extra care so as not to disturb the remains themselves, but better that than risk drawing any unfriendly attention. Someone applied meticulous care to this interment for all but the first inhabitant. Lawrence's urn is battered and neglected. It doesn't seem like there's anything else to find. As you leave the crypt, the door slams shut behind you. You hear a child's laugh fade into nothingness. Huh.
It's that one that we tried to banish.
Could be, yeah. I'm not sure. Well,
interesting that Lawrence's urn was not taken care of.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, it doesn't seem like we're particularly like sick or anything. I was expecting us to like kind of be like in a like spiritual radiation zone. You know, you can only last 5 minutes before you get all saturated and die or something. I don't know. All right. You look around the churchyard once more. This place is beginning to cause you distress. Thank you. As much as you might hate to admit it, yesterday was hard on you. Pushing yourself too hard today might be harmful.
Oh, there it is. You had to say something about us being all woozy.
Oh, that was yesterday. I'm just, today we're fine. It's a long day, I took time to look through all the nooks and crannies and such.
Are we gonna push ourselves though?
I'm okay not pushing myself because you don't want to get
drowning in the tab again.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good to peace out. Something about the churchyard makes you nervous. There might be more to learn, but you can't shake the feeling that you are in danger. Intuition is a powerful force, one that has saved both your business and your life in the past. Perhaps if you hurry, you can catch up with Dev. A long walk back through the woods in town awaits you, but it's a more enjoyable prospect than spending more time in this putrid place. Is good, yeah? If you wish.
As you return to the inn, the street's quiet. It's for the best. You've drawn enough attention to yourself. Any more will need to be on your terms if you're going to get through this. This part of town feels strangely abandoned. When you pass by several low-roofed houses, you see the sudden twitch of a curtain, a door creaking open before shutting immediately. So you haven't gone unnoticed here, just unwelcomed. Paranoia creeps its way up the back of your neck. Could this be a sign of ill intent? Are they frightened of the strange things that happen here? More likely, they're just not used to strangers. Usually it's the spirits you need to treat cautiously, not the people. The shadows lengthen as evening approaches. It's like everyone is waiting for something. For you to leave? Or for something to happen to you? You hear nothing but your own breath, the scrape of your own footsteps. The silence around you is oppressive, and then it's broken. A rock skitters in the road behind you, and you start. In that moment, you hear the other footsteps. They were hidden beneath your own.
Votes up. I'll get the jump on this new threat. They won't know what hit them. Anyone who thinks to find me easy prey will be surprised by my defenses. If I can just reach the inn, I'll be safe. Now I'm feeling courageous. Snicky, snicky, schnoise. That was an old reference for the record. Mall rats.
Watch it be Dev.
One does not usually just yeah.
I mean, he could have been lost in his thought or something. I'm just teasing.
I think it's a sketchy guy, but I don't think it's I'm not just gonna go up blasting.
Right.
I'll turn around and be
throw a punch and it's Miss Fairchild.
That's right. For me, in my mind, it's okay, in any possible situation, right? Downtown New York in an alley kind of thing. Would I still just turn around and slug somebody? It's nah, I'm pretty sure I'd try and figure out what the hell's happening before and I wouldn't run because that's silly. Oh my god, seriously? Wow. Tier 3 subscription by none other than Yellowhammer 305. Holy cow, bro. You're out of control. Wait, do we actually have results? Oh, what was the result?
We did. I don't remember what they were, though.
I got it here.
I think it was 2 for 2 and 1 for 1.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 2. Okay. Anyone who thinks to find me easy prey will be surprised by my defense. I will think about it. Good. Whoa, okay. Sorry, I'm distracted by the cat with a knife. Alright. I think I'm up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get 1 stab. 7 days. It has to be below the knee. Oh my god. It's weird. Okay. There isn't enough spiritual energy here to offer you much protection, but you pull what you can around yourself. Cold washes over you as the heat around you leeches away. The chill is too much like last night's attack, but you remind yourself it's in your control. To the uninitiated, it will feel much like a haunting. A wrongness in the very air they move through, enough to discourage any sort of casual mischief. You hope there's nothing worse than casual mischief to come. You don't hear the footsteps any longer, so you might be safe. You take a deep breath and that turns into a strangled cry as a hand closes around your arm. You grab one of their fingers and wrench it back, trying to break free, before a familiar voice hisses in your ear. What the devil, Alexander? Dev scowls from the pain you've inflicted, cradling his hand. I think you've broken one of my fingers.
I knew it!
What the fuck is he chatting with me for, you little bastard? I mean, I could have slugged him. Oh god, that was Dev? I rushed to apologize. He shouldn't have sneaked up on me then. How horribly embarrassing. I try to play it off as his fault. No, it's...
I mean, it was his fault,
It's his own damn fault. I'm not letting anybody choose. It's his own friggin' fault for sneaking up on me, little punk. If you will.
It's a shame that he's hurt, but he should have known better.
What do you expect? Yeah, it's fine. What do you expect sneaking up on me like that?
Everyone who deals with the occult jumps at shadows. It's just prudent when you know what they can conceal.
I wasn't...
He bites off his angry denial and takes a breath.
I'm sorry. Didn't you hear me call?
You didn't, and you tell him as much. He seems quietly skeptical, but lets it pass. You take his hand, looking for injuries.
I am sorry to startle you,
he says.
I stopped to look through the notes I brought with me. Some of the dates I found on the graves are very interesting. At any rate, I saw you pass, so I called, but...
He flinches when you palpate one of his fingers, and there doesn't seem to be any break. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the others fared as well.
I've had a strange time of things since we parted,
he says.
I've spent a lot of time thinking.
He yelps. His smallest finger might be broken. You'd prefer to consult a physician, but you wouldn't know who to trust here. Hopefully it won't slow him down too much. Already, the pain appears to have stolen his next words. Or perhaps it's something else, given his high color and the way he's avoiding your gaze. What was it he's saying?
A lot of time talking.
That's a leading comment if you've ever heard one.
Okay. Interesting. Should have gotten the jump. That way it would be our fault. Are they prime numbers? Shutters? Oh, nice. Interesting. Okay. What has him so adorably flustered, I wonder? Gross. Sorry. Let's just focus on the mess I've made of his poor finger. This isn't the time or place for his thoughts. Something is bothering him, and I'd like to know what.
I think not number 1, but maybe number 4.
Sorry, but it's the way I am. Oh, it's so adorable. I'll put
Dev,
one.
why
whatever.
are you so giggly?
Yeah. Interesting. So I busted his finger. That's kind of
The
funny.
chaos in me wants to vote number 1 because you
I
left
know.
it as a choice.
I know. This isn't the time or place for his thoughts. I wouldn't say that. Something is bothering him. Like, you know what?
Seeing as somebody else voted 4, though, I shall also vote 4. Now, if that somebody else would have voted for number 1, I would have also voted number 1.
I would say I picked number 2 just because I think I'd be too pissed off to actually give a crap about what he's thinking. Be like, all right, well, I busted your finger. I might as well fix that. But
That is true.
but still, it's a reasonable. I think it's perfectly reasonable. Yes. What's so strange about that? You ask. You're always pondering something, and this situation brings with it quite a lot to think about. True, he admits, but I have been thinking about our situation here. I've been thinking about you. Just like that, the camaraderie between you collapses into something much more fraught. Suddenly unsure of yourself, you busy your hands tearing a strip free from a handkerchief. Dev runs his uninjured left hand through his hair, leaving it not the least bit tidier. He doesn't seem to care about the audience so conspicuously ignoring you from their shuttered homes, and it seems he expects the same of you. Last night, I sat by the fire and prayed that you'd recover. I thought about what would happen if you were to die. Dev watches you bind his finger, doggedly determined not to meet your eye. I read it out. It's okay, it's fine. I'd be forced to abandon our search, of course, without your talents to lead us. I'd need to find a new job as well, and I've not exactly kept up my old associates. I didn't consider any of that, though. There's probably a point to this. He always considers his words carefully, but he's certainly taking a roundabout route to reach it. I thought about the mistakes I've made, the things I've left unsaid. When I die, I don't want to carry regrets that bind me to this world. He looks down at you, expression unreadable. If you had died, those unspoken words would have haunted me just as much. He couldn't possibly mean... Is he trying to suggest that he has romantic feelings for you? Right here and now? Oh man, they got lots of choices
Oh, there's
here.
good choices here. Okay.
He should know that this isn't a line we can cross. I'm not having this conversation, not out here, not right now. I have feelings for him, but bed sport isn't among my interests. At long last, he's given me an opening to admit my feelings. I don't have the words to explain my desire for him, but I can show him.
Oh my.
He must be daft. How dare he push this on me? If I feign ignorance, we can both save face. I would say that none of these are really choices that I would probably pick. Feign ignorance, pretend not to get it. Deb would just slow us down. Works for me. Yeah, I suppose feign ignorance. We can both save face.
The third one, when it says I have feelings for him, but bed sport isn't among my interests, is that just like feelings like, hey dude, we're two associates, like I care that you're hurt, but like I'm not into that?
I would assume it means like, okay, that's great, but we have other things to do right now. I'm not really. Maybe it's like the asexual kind of
Gotcha. Okay.
way of doing things too. It's like, well, I like you and everything, but just like, yeah, I'm not interested in like physical stuff. I kind of agree with Cap. I think if I feign ignorance, the other one is he must be daft. How dare he
I think
push this on me?
one or the last two are good.
You should know.
You should know that this isn't a line we can cross. If I feign ignorance.
Must be daft. How dare he push this on me? I'm definitely leaning to that one more, probably. Again, it's part of it's because of like.
Yeah, I
like
know.
Well, no, it's more like the emotion already. He snuck up on me. I got pissed off. I broke his finger, and now you're gonna do this. It's like, what are you, a freaking idiot? Like, that kind of thing. But if I feign ignorance, we can both save face. Alright, I'll go with Cap. I'll do that one. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Doopy-doopy-doo. I'm gonna pretend like you didn't say anything, bud. I should think I'd be the one with more regrets if I had died. Oh, sorry.
You say your tone as light as you can manage.
Dying of a simple chill to start with. Kent lost forever because I apparently haven't trained my assistant into self-sufficiency. I'd have to haunt you in, as you begged in St. Giles, I suppose, having given up a perfectly lucrative business just because your friend and employer had died.
You emphasize the word friend and hope he takes your meaning. His strained laugh tells you he does.
Right you are, as ever. Shall we get back to the inn, then?
Red zoned.
Is if Dev brings in a wedding ring? That's a good one, Cat. Oh, man. Good times.
He's had it since your trip to Morocco.
Wow. Just like on a chain around his neck and just hidden. Just like, easy there, bub. As you walk, you discuss your discoveries. Dev is reluctant to share much of what he found, but speaking of the day's work, steadies him. I have so much to cross-reference, and I need to go back tomorrow to follow up on several details. I can say with some uncertainty that Wyford is abnormal. However. He goes silent. You have to press him to elaborate. The town has been unreasonably lucky, he says with a shrug. You give him a look, one he should know well. It means, keep talking, more or less, and to his credit, he does. I checked dates of several major conflicts that have passed through this region. Every plague, famine, and even the hard winters I have in my records. None caused so much as a bump in the number of graves. There is variation, of course, undoubtedly due to accidents or ordinary illnesses, but for the most part, people here live unusually full lives. You file that information away. Dev is an excellent researcher, but he has a taste for the fantastic. If there's anything to what he claims, you'll be able to verify it given time and further investigation. For the moment, you have a dinner to attend. Wow, that's the end of that chapter.